You're watching Friday Night Football Fever with Pete Byrne and Carl Deffenbaugh. Presented by TCU. The hits start now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new season of Friday Night Football Fever here on WSBT-TV. I'm Pete Byrne. He's Carl Deffenbaugh. Excited to kick off a whole new season of high school football.
It's about time, right?
Yeah.
9 months after the state championships last year, and there are big changes to the landscape this season. The NIC, of course, expanding to 13 schools. As a result, we're going to have some exciting new rivalries to look forward to in the coming weeks.
All season long, but tonight we're going to kick things off with one of the great rivalries, not just here in Michiana, but anywhere in the country, they say, at least this year. The battle for the mangy lion. Elkhart Central versus Elkhart Memorial. Rice Field was the setting tonight as the Blazers storm their home field. And it is Central who sends the first message in this game with Memorial driving. Nick Quarandillo steps in front and picks off the pass in the end zone. Blazers defense comes up with a big hold. Tonight marks the start of the Scott Shaw era at Memorial, and they are impressive, especially in the passing game. Zach Hawkins goes to the air, and Devon Long pulls it down for the game for a score. Memorial goes up 6-0. And they weren't done quite yet. Second quarter, Hawkins looking for Long again, and this time he's got it, and he's going a long way. 50-plus yards for his second touchdown of the night. Listen to this, Memorial would race out to a 19-0 lead, but Central rallies in the second half. They scored 28 straight points, and the mangy lion is staying at Central. Look at that. Blazers win it 28-25.
What a comeback. Another week one staple, of course, Jimtown, Northwood. They met every year since 1997. This might be the first one with a drone, though. The future apparently has come to Napanee. Opening drive for the Panthers right down the field. Tanner Cleveland would dive in from 5 yards out, make it 6-0 after a failed two-point try. Now, Northwood was on the move again, but Trey Belinsky throws into double coverage. This is a pick for the Jimmy's Dylan Golddogger, as he would have a nice return as well. The Panthers, though, playing some D also. Sam Pollock running for his life in the end zone, and this would go down as intentional grounding. That's a penalty. That's a safety. 16-6. Northwood has won 3 in a row in the series.
Jimtown will open up NIC play next week against Washington. Another new NIC member, Bremen, will open up conference play next week. Tonight, their traditional week one showdown with Plymouth. Rockies up 14-9 here when Jack Byrne finds Terrence Hooten. Hooten breaks a tackle and scampers to the end zone. So we've got a 20-9 Rockies lead. And things are about to get worse for Bremen. On the ensuing kickoff, ball goes right through the returner's arms, ends up on the turf, and the Rockies recovered. Tough opener for Bremen, good one for Plymouth. Rockies win it 39-17. You know, last fall, Carl, LaPorte, New Prairie made a little history when the two LaPorte County schools each made it to the state finals for the very first time. It was certainly exciting. Right now, WSBT-22's Adam Derengowski joins us live from the newsroom with more on the state runners-up who squared off tonight to start off their season. Adam?
Yeah, you know, guys, it wasn't long ago that New Prairie and LaPorte were rooting for one another at Lucas Oil Stadium as both teams pursued state championships. And while historic runs brought goodwill to the gridiron last year, a new season means a very different atmosphere as both teams seek their first win in what they hope is a repeat trip to the championship game. You know, a lot has changed in those 3 months as days, including LaPorte's head man Dave Sharp takes the helm for the Slicers. As already up big, LaPorte's Gino Francesconi rumbles 15 yards for the score. Slicers out to a 35-7 lead. Then New Prairie trying to stage a late comeback. Nick Wilson takes the handoff on the end around, dodging tacklers as he heads into the end zone. Slicers, however, still with a 42-14 lead, and they would seal the deal right here. Deion Williams takes the handoff. He will find some space on the edge, and he is gone. 60 yards to the house. The Slicers win this one in dominant fashion, 49-21. You know, it's always nice to win the first one, but even nicer when you're trying to make your way back to Lucas Oil and the state finals. Guys, back to you in the studio.
All right, Adam, thanks a lot. Good start to the Sharp era in LaPorte.
Yeah, and for New Prairie, they lost that game last year, still made it to the state final. Long season ahead.
Yeah, brighter days ahead. Now, we've talked a lot about opening week themes that are frequent. Well, Penn's opening up with 4 straight non-conference games against teams that have state championship pedigree, something we've seen them do before.
Pretty good test for them. Tonight they hit the road for their traditional opener against Valpo. Corey Yeoman's crew coming off back-to-back semi-state appearances in 6A. Quarterback Camden Bone back as well, and he follows his lineman in on the QB keeper. Penn up early 7-0, and the Wild Bunch pitched a shutout in week 1, doing it on special teams too with that field goal block. and Bone would do the rest. Look at this, shaking off a couple of arm tackles. A strong showing from the Harvard-bound quarterback and the Kingsman. 34-zip as they will host Merrillville next week.
Strong and smart, lethal combination. Hey, let's head on over to Steele Stadium. Bart Curtis and the Cavemen already look like they're in midseason form tonight against Portage. They're looking pretty good on defense as well. Forced the fumble. That's Kevin Banks who comes away with it. So the offense takes over, and Darian Phillips at the helm knows what to do with it. The fake, follows his blocker, and he's gone. 72 yards on the score. That's the third of the night for Darian Phillips. Mishawaka opens up with an impressive win tonight at home, 40-10 over Portage. Now, the Northridge Raiders had their best season in program history a year ago, sectional and regional champs, opening up against Adams tonight at School Field. Picked us up in the third quarter, game tied at 7 when Adams was poised to take control. Look at Andrew Burgess on the option keeper, tiptoes the sidelines, goes 55 yards all the way to the 10-yard line before he is taken down from behind. So Adams about to take a lead, or are they? The drive stalls thanks to the Northridge defense. Gabe Brooks running the Wildcat, goes to the air, and this one is going to be picked off by Bryce Johnson in the end zone. And how big was that interception? Northridge would go on to kick a late field goal, and the Raiders get the win tonight 10-7 over Adams.
Good games tonight. There's a new man in charge at Concord, Craig Kaler, taking over for the longtime assistant, now in Tim Dawson's shoes. Minutemen in St. Joe from Father Bly Field. Concord to the air on third down as Jason Grooms hooking up with Cedric Mitchell off to the races. The Minutemen go for a 60-yard touchdown, ties the game at 21.
Some things don't change.
No, it just keeps on going. St. Joe has a sweet passing attack of their own. Tony Carmola dropping back in a bomb to Mark Madden. Had that incredible catch last week. Pretty good one there as well. The Army basketball recruit showing off his hops. And St. Joe would win 37-24.
He's not careful when he gets to West Point. They might put a football helmet on him because he's off to a good start this year. I like the new helmets for St. Joe, by the way. All right, we got to take a quick time out, but when we come back, there's still